Hi Pokefans, welcome back to part 10 of my Pokemon Violet Nuzlocke challenge. Last episode we defeated the 8th gym as well as the fairy crew. The battle was pretty interesting and I would definitely recommend you guys go ahead and check out that episode after this one. In this episode we'll go ahead and challenge the final Titan as well as try to find some wild Terra Pokemons to catch to our team. Since we are challenging the final Titan, I've gone ahead and trained up my team members a bit more. And of course, I have made my way throughout the region to make sure I will be able to kind of easily fly back between places. Right here, the next destination for us would definitely be the Caseria Lake. There are around 5 Terra Pokemons that you can find around the lake, and I think I do have to catch around 2 of them. By the way, if you didn't know, there are around 64 wild Terra Pokemons available in this game. So if you do want to kind of go ahead and do this Nuzlocke challenge, it's going to be pretty fun. And definitely you'll have a variety of selection of Pokemons you can actually catch for your team. In my case, I've only gone ahead and caught the few which I thought would be kind of useful for my team. So here they are. But of course, if you have a different Nuzlocke rule set, then probably you'll have a different team. Well, now that I'm ready, I'm actually making my way to the Caseria Lake where we can actually find and encounter the Titan Pokemon. In this case, as you can see, it's evening settings in the game and it looks amazing. I feel like the game looks so much better in the settings and it's sad to kind of see it go away after a couple of seconds. While making my way through the Caseria Lake, I actually found one of the wild Terra Pokemons right here. Now in my case, there are 2 specific Pokemons I want to add to my team. But I don't think this is that wild Terra Pokemon. Yep, this is actually a Dreadnought. And since we are quite close to it, let me go ahead and cast this one. This Dreadnought I think will have a Ice Terra type, which is kind of not that useful since I already have a Luxray with Ice Terra type. Either way, I think it's fine for me to just go ahead and cast this one. Now, before you encounter any wild Terra Pokemon, I would just want to let you know that all wild Terra Pokemons in Caseria Lake will be at level 55. So if you don't have your team members around that level, I would definitely recommend you guys kind of wait for a bit more and then catch them. These Pokemons are definitely pretty helpful if you want to kind of have a team before you go ahead and challenge the Elite Four. I think it's an easier way to just catch them and add them to your team. I think there are a couple other wild Terra Pokemons which are at least around level 65. So if you're not too worried about the Pokemons you use and if you just want to kind of have a team before you go over there, I would definitely recommend just going out, finding where these level 65 Pokemons are and just going ahead and catching them. I think there is a Pokemon that I remember which is a Garchomp, which is right next to the Azado Desert, so you'll be able to easily find it and catch it. It's in those stone structures and I think it is at level 65. Either way, I'm just trying to break the transformation from Dreadnought to kind of catch it. As you can see, I also have a Floatzel with Ice Terra type, which I'm actually thinking of switching out. Floatzel has definitely been a very strong team member of mine, but I feel like having 2 Ice Terra Pokemons is going to be kind of redundant. So it should be either I remove Luxray or I remove Floatzel. Since I do like to have a electric type Pokemon in my team, I feel like I do have to kind of place Floatzel back in the box. Maybe once I defeat the final Titan Pokemon, I'll go ahead and switch out my team to kind of have the team members I'm gonna be using for the Elite Four. It is pretty exciting. There are at least 4 Pokemons I have yet to catch, which I really want to use in my team. But I actually did have to wait since I don't really have all the powers for my Miraidon to kind of ride around. So I do have to actually wait for that. Maybe once we do defeat the final Titan in this game right here, in today's episode, we can go around and catch the rest of the team members as well. Now that I have broken the transformation of Dredna, I finally have a chance to go ahead and catch it. In this case, as usual, I go with an Ultra Ball. And it seems like we have caught the Dredna. Pretty cool. Now that we have it, let me quickly go ahead and name it as well. And then just go ahead and place it in the box. The one thing that's quite surprising is the fact that we have 5 Terra Pokemons right here in the lake. And each of them also have a different Terra type, so probably you can just have a team full of these Pokemons. Now that I have named the Dredna, let me quickly go ahead and place it in the box. I think it's time for me to go ahead and challenge the final Titan. Well, here it is. Once we interact with it, it seems like there is another Pokemon that comes up. So this Titan is pretty interesting since we do have 2 Pokemons that we have to battle. And you don't really get to kind of heal your Pokemon in between. So I would definitely recommend kind of using a Pokemon that you know can actually help you kind of take it down. Here's the first time we do get challenged. It's actually Dondozo, the False Dragon Titan. As usual, I've gone with my Luxray. It's the only electric type team member I currently have. And I think Volt Switch is a really good move for this one. I'm pretty sure with the Thunderbolt TM, I would have one-shot this Pokemon right here. Either way, we do have to switch out since it's Volt Switch. And this turn, I think I do have to kind of be careful. As usual, I went with my Floatzel. And let's see if we can take this one down. Unfortunately, Floatzel does not have a electric type move. So I do have to kind of use the other ones. In this case, I went with Brick Break, which definitely did pretty good damage. I think we still do need around 2 turns to kind of take it down. The good thing is my Floatzel does resist water type move, so I can still be here for multiple turns. The only thing is that none of these moves do the amount of damage that I'm expecting it to. So I guess we are kind of stuck with this for now. Alright, we're almost there. One more move left. Let me go with Brick Break once more. And there we have it. So we have defeated Dondozo for the first time. Hopefully next time we have a better chance in taking it down. As it has decided to disappear, I think it's time for me to go ahead and follow it, see if we can actually battle it once more. While searching for the disappeared Dondozo, I was actually able to find my next team member. This here is Azumarill and it's a part water and fairy type. It also luckily has the Terra type as fairy, which is pretty helpful. The only other fairy type Pokemon that I currently have is actually my Floette and it's actually in level 35. This will take me a long time to kind of evolve it and get it ready for the Elite Four. Hence, I feel like using this Azumarill right here, which is quite available for us and is at level 55, is much easier to kind of level up. Although this is not the only water type Pokemon I'll be catching, there is another one that you can actually find here in Casseroya Lake, which I do want to add to my team. I guess we can actually find that out later once I have defeated the final Titan, of course. Right here, the main thing for me is to break this Azumarill's transformation, which definitely is a bit tougher now that I have used Volt Switch. I just went ahead and switched into my Primeape. Hopefully, I'll be able to break its transformation with the Poison Jab. Now, as for Primeape right here, even though it's a really good Pokemon, I kind of feel like it has a pretty bad defense stat. So it's a bit easier to kind of take it down. So I'm not really sure if I want to use it in my team. Alright, there we go. It's gonna be using Poison Jab. And I think we'll be able to break the transformation for Azumarill. Alright, so we did. Let me quickly go ahead and catch this one. I'm hoping I'll catch it without any issues. After all, I do want to have Azumarill right here with me. Other than Azumarill, I'm actually planning to kind of use my Talonflame, which by the way was like the starting Pokemon that I actually caught. I'm also going to be using my Shinx, which I caught initially as well, which has now become a luxury. But the other team members, probably I'll be switching them out. I've not really had a definitive team member, but I'm definitely planning to kind of see which type of Pokemons I can find and have a really good team before I challenge the Elite Four. As for this Azumarill, since I have been able to catch it, let me quickly go ahead and name it as well. Azumarill is a really good water type Pokemon. It's quite defensive and it is quite good against most of the opponents. So I'm really excited to add this one to my team. It's also at a really good level, so I could directly add this one to my party. For now, I'm gonna just go ahead and name it. It's a very popular name and there we have it. Let me check out its summary quickly. Pretty good moveset, although I might have to switch out some of the moves. Maybe try teaching it some TM as well. But for now, it is pretty good. Well, it seems like we are here right where the cave is. And it seems like Dondozo is actually trying to get the Herba Mystica. Apparently, it's not just Dondozo who's going there. Alright, finally we have Irvin coming as well, which is pretty good. The only thing that I do regret is the fact that Irving right here will not use a Pokemon that's effective against this Pokemon. So it's kind of like a situation where we have to fend for ourselves. So definitely if you have a Fairy type team member and an Electric type team member, you shouldn't have too much difficulty defeating this one. At least that's what I've seen. But definitely it's much difficult now that we have to kind of make sure that we at least have a super effective move against it. In this battle, as far as I've seen, Irvin right here will actually like to use Takedown for his redundant. So he usually kind of goes down in 2 to 3 turns, especially if the Titan Pokemon is focusing more on his team member. In my case, as I have my Luxury up in front, I'm still gonna be going ahead and doing a massive damage right here. But from now on, I think I do have to kind of use my other team members to take this one down. As usual, I actually decided to go ahead and go into Floatzel right here. Unfortunately, I should have actually gone into Palossand. Maybe that would have actually helped. Immediately as soon as my Floatzel came up, it actually got paralyzed due to the body slam, and this was pretty bad. As usual, Greedent actually went for takedown, and as you can see, it definitely does take self damage as well. Sadly, this turn my Floatzel actually got paralyzed, and I guess I wasn't really able to help for this turn. That's okay, let me try it once more. I'm gonna go ahead with Brick Break, which is the best move I have. Unfortunately, I got paralyzed once more. At this point, I got a bit concerned considering that we did kind of lose 2 turns because of the paralysis. Either way, I think I'll be able to at least pull through and take it down at the last bit of health. Thankfully, Irvin is definitely pulling his weight right here and trying to use takedown, helping me kind of win this battle. Now right here, I actually thought it went down, but apparently it's actually hanging on with 1 HP. I mean, we're not able to see that in this meter. As you can see, it looks like it did go down, but it did hit me one more turn, which was pretty weird. Either way, we were finally able to take it down. Not bad. Maybe for the next battle, I'll probably not switch into Floatzel since it is paralyzed. Right here, Irvin actually kind of gets fooled and he assumes that we do have to go inside before Dondozo comes back. Unfortunately, this is not the only Titan Pokemon that's present. We have another one and it's right here. Even though it's pretty small, it's definitely quite powerful. And this one's actually part dragon type. So if you have a dragon type Pokemon or have a fairy type Pokemon, this is the chance for you to go ahead and bring them out. Tatsugiri here is a pretty cool dragon type Pokemon. It's a part water and dragon. The only drawback I feel like is the fact that it does not evolve. Maybe in the future games we might get its evolution, you never know. In this case, as usual, since I did have Luxray up in front, I was easily able to kind of go ahead and crystallize it right here into an ice type. Unfortunately, I actually used Volt Switch. I should have gone with Ice Fang right there. For some reason, I just decided to go with Volt Switch and go into my Azumarill. Regardless of switching out, I still feel like we'll be able to take it down with Azumarill as well, considering that it has Play Rough, which is a really good move. I was also able to kind of avoid the muddy water right here. Sadly, Greedent will be going down in the next turn, so I do have to use Play Rough to take it down. I think we'll be able to win this battle in 2 more turns though. Let me quickly go ahead and use another Play Rough. Ooh, okay. I was able to avoid the second turn of move as well, which is pretty surprising. This is definitely helpful as Greedent right here didn't go down. I do have to say, this battle has been quite surprising. I mean, we got paralyzed 2 turns, we avoided a move 2 turns, and now it actually avoided my turn. I guess I do have to say it's a surprising turn of events. Either way, let me try this one again, and hopefully this turn will actually be able to kind of hit it. Ooh, okay, it actually took down Greedent. That's okay. I think if we do make a contact with Play Rough, we'll be able to take it down. So there we have it. We have gone ahead and defeated all 5 Titans in this game. It's definitely been pretty fun, and I personally really like Irwin's story. So I'm really happy that we're able to kind of help him find all of these Titans and defeat them to get the Herba Mystica. Either way, I think it's time for us to go ahead and have our 5th and last sandwich with him, as well as get his badge. If I remember correctly, the last Herba Mystica is actually the spicy one. Both of the main characters right here are quite intimidated by it. Pretty cool. Now, not only this one, in this cutscene, we also get to know that Professor Toro is actually Irwin's dad. And he's actually gonna ask us to go ahead and meet him in the lighthouse in Poco Path, which I believe we have seen before. It's actually the lighthouse that we did go through the first time we met Irwin, so we do have to kind of make our way back there. As usual, before I go there, I do want to complete the, I guess, storyline for Team Star. And if you have to complete that, you have to defeat the fighting crew, which is the toughest battle in this game. I don't think I'm personally ready to actually battle them, considering that my team members are still at level 55. As far as I've seen, the fighting crew will have team members around 56. So I would definitely recommend you guys go ahead and train up your team members at least to level 60 to make sure that you'll actually win against them. Definitely it's the toughest battle, and the Pokemons are going to be pretty strong as well. In this case, I'll go around kind of training up my team members a bit more and trying to find some new wild Terra Pokemons looking around. Right here, I was able to find a Bellibolt in Casaroya Lake. It's not quite the Pokemon I actually want to catch, but since I'm here, I'll quickly go ahead and catch it. Bellibolt right here is an electric type Pokemon with a water type. Pretty helpful, but I don't think is the Pokemon that's gonna be added to my team, considering that I already have my Azumarill, which is part water type. But let me quickly go ahead and try to break its transformation right here. It's a pretty strong Pokemon though, and definitely very helpful if you're trying to have a very defensive Pokemon. It's an easier way to kind of bring it out and heal up your other team members. Alright, there we go. We have broken its transformation, so let me try and catch it right here. I think there are 3 more Pokemons you can actually find. As far as I've seen, there is a Gyarados that can be caught here, as well as I think a Slowbro and an Avalugg. So let's go ahead and find the others as well. Right here, I lost my Floatzel. I actually didn't realize it initially until I read the message saying it had actually fainted. I was so shocked. I didn't expect Floatzel to go down right there. If I did, I would have switched it out. So that was quite surprising. Even though I'm not really using like Floatzel in my team, I would have preferred it not going down. That was totally unnecessary for me to lose that Pokemon right there. It was ridiculous. Either way, I have caught Bellibolt, so I'm just gonna name it and move on from this. As far as the naming goes, I really don't have a good name for this one. But there we go. I'm just gonna name it Charger. After looking around for quite some time, I was finally able to find the Pokemon I really wanted to add to my team. It's actually a Slowbro. Slowbro right here is part water and psychic type. Mainly I wanted it because of its psychic type moves, and it is definitely a really good special attacker as well. In this case, it really has a grass type typing, which I wasn't really expecting. But since it is having a really good psychic type move, I'm just gonna go ahead and just add this one to my team. The only thing I feel like is a redundant factor is the fact that 2 of my team members are pot water type. So I do have to be a bit careful about it. Maybe if I do find a better psychic type Pokemon, I'll probably go ahead and add that one instead of this one. In the other case, I could actually catch the Mimikyu and add that one to my team. Probably that is helpful, considering that Mimikyu is having a fairy tail type. Either way, let me see what I can do. Maybe I can actually try to find where the Mimikyu is and catch it. For now, I was able to break the transformation of Slowbro right here. Let me quickly go ahead and add this one to my team. Personally, I have never used a Slowbro before, so I'm not really sure how good it is. But I've seen so many people use it, so I want to try this one. Alright, there we have it. Let me quickly go ahead and name this one as well. The other thing left for me to do is to go ahead and check out its moveset. Usually it does have a really good moveset, but in this case I do have to be a bit more careful. Other than the Slowbro, the next Pokemon to add to my team is actually this Axew right here. Now this one is actually on a cliff top, and the only way I found out to actually kind of find it is after I got the power to kind of climb the rocks. Until then, there was no way for me to actually catch this one. You can see that it is at level 36, so I'm not really sure why they actually positioned this Pokemon right here, even though it's at level 36. They could have at least kept it around level 50, considering how difficult it is to come to this area. We are literally right next to the crater of Paldia. I have tried to come here multiple times before, and there is no direct path to actually come here. You literally have to climb a complete wall of rock to actually get to this small ledge right here. Pretty interesting to keep a Pokemon, but either way, I actually wanted to add this one to my team. Axew right here has a ground Terra typing, which is very unique, and it's the only ground Terra Pokemon that I have caught. So I definitely want this one in my team. Now that I have named it, let me go ahead and place it in my team to kind of level it up. Moving around, I got a chance to kind of level up Axew and evolve it as well. Pretty cool. Now that we have a fracture, I'm hoping I'll be soon able to level this one up and evolve it. As far as I remember, I think we evolved at around level 54. Alright, here is my next Pokemon, and this is actually right next to where we have the fighting crew. Also, if you're wondering why I saved my game there, sometimes in my game, as far as I've seen, the wild Terra Pokemon, when you approach them much faster, they actually disappear. This has happened to me multiple times before, and I just decided to kind of save my game just in case that happens. It's easier to kind of resolve it. You can either close your game and open it again, or you can kind of leave this area and come back. That also kind of respawns it. But in case if none of them work, I feel like just shut down the game and leave it for 5 to 10 minutes and open it up. Usually you'll be able to kind of get it back here. That's the main reason why I save the game before I try to actually encounter this Pokemon. Next one up is actually a Covanite, and as you can see, it has the fighting type. This is pretty helpful, especially when I am going against the Elite Four. I'm really excited to add this one to my team as well. Also, this is another redundant Pokemon considering I have Talonflame in my team. So I'm just gonna have 2 flying type and 2 water type Pokemons. Maybe I do have to think this one through. Maybe I do have to try and find a Pokemon which isn't redundant and does have the type that I want. Maybe that is possible. But for now, this is what I'm gonna add to my team. In this case, I was easily able to remove its transformation. And right here, I'm just trying to catch it. Ooh, okay, it actually has Roost in its moveset. This is definitely gonna be a bit more trickier to catch than the other team members. Maybe I do have to switch out as well. But before I switch out, let me at least try using Aqua Jet to see how much damage we can do with it. Alright, that's not good. Let me try using Flare Up once more, and hopefully it does not use Roost. If it does, then probably I have no other way than to just go ahead and switch it out. Well, I guess it read my mind and it's actually healing itself. Nope, this is not gonna work out. Let me switch out. I guess I probably should have gone into Luxray. That would have helped. Let me quickly go ahead and switch out my team member. Alright, I guess I do have to go into Luxray since Covanite right here is part flying type, but I'm a bit worried that I might accidentally take it down. After all, I do want this one in my team. Right here, it almost seems like the Go-Goat is just watching our battle at this point. I mean, 2 of them are just standing right next to each other and it's just hilarious. Hopefully, I don't accidentally take this Covanite down. I did try using Ice Fang, and as you can see, it didn't really do too much of a damage. Let me try that one again. Hopefully this time I get a crit hit. If not, I guess I'm forced to kind of use Volt Switch. Okay, never mind, it actually used Roost. So it might not go down if I do use Volt Switch. Let me use Thunder Wave before I do that, just to prevent it from healing itself and getting paralyzed for a few turns. There we go, it did get paralyzed immediately. Pretty good. This time I'll go with Volt Switch. Hopefully we don't take it down. And ooh, okay. So it was a good call to kind of wait for it to kind of heal itself. Definitely it's in a really good place where I can actually go ahead and catch it. Let me bring out my Slowbro and start throwing my Ultra Balls. Alright, it also got paralyzed right there, which is pretty good. I think I'll be able to catch this one pretty easily considering it's also paralyzed. Yup, there we have it. So we have got the Covanite as well. Alright, since I have got a couple of team members who are at a pretty high level, let me go ahead and train them up a bit more. In the next episode, we'll go ahead and challenge the fighting crew and try to see what happens next for the Team Star storyline. That's all for this episode. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please like and subscribe to my channel. If you'd like to support me more, check out the links in my description, and I'll see you guys in the next episode.